Tuesday Night Live with Mechanic Alliance. We are here. Yes, we're doing it. I couldn't be the only member of Mechanic Alliance who wasn't wearing a hat. So congratulations. Play with this bowl. You're going to get the horn. These are plastic, so it only hurt a little
fur
bit.
Around it. The fur's the best part.
Yeah! Valhalla!
That's to wipe the sweat off the top of his head.
Oh, that's classic.
It is a little bit warm. It is imitation leather from a petroleum product that shall be henceforth known as plastique.
We need to drill some holes, vent holes in the top of that for you.
Or in the back, yeah.
On the back, it doesn't help. It's all on the front that I get sweaty because, I don't have a 4-head. I've got a 5-head.
Oh, heck.
I've never heard
Travis
that one
Schroer
before.
gets the coveted top comment. Thank you, Travis, for joining us today. We have another shy viewer who's unwilling to comment over there. I have no idea who it is.
Kevin, is that you, Kevin?
Oh, now we lost him. I called him out and he's gone.
Oh.
How dare he? Anyway, so it looks like we're having a show we just jumped to 3 viewers. 3 viewers, all 3 of you. Comment, please. Help the algorithm or else. Smash that like button. State law. We're not sure what state, but state law somewhere.
State of confusion.
Yeah, we're going to go
Yeah,
there. Kevin Myers with us. Anyways, guys, so Marv, we have this thing coming up that is 340 days, 50.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to actually go look at the website you designed for us. 300
Mechanicalliance.com, smack dab on the homepage. Go look it up.
Yeah, we are excited. We have some great vendors coming on. We have, of course, Top Don. We're moving some scan tools, which is great. We're talking ADAS, which is going awesome. It's just really things are coming along great. We have talked to Identifix today. Identifix is on with us. So it's going to be exciting. We have some big names in the industry, and it's really, like we're saying, the conference is basically training and development. I mean, this is what we're there for, is to help shop owners and help techs get better at what they're doing. We'll have some EV classes. We'll have ADAS. We'll have diagnostics. We got all sorts of great stuff coming.
By the way, you said EV and I didn't have that gag reflex, so I'm getting better. Anybody who knows me knows that if it doesn't burn gallons upon gallons of dead dinosaurs,
yeah,
I'm not interested.
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear about the Identifix because I have it. We have a subscription. I've been with them for years.
Yeah, they're actually, what's really cool about it is I like what they're doing is, and why we blend so well with them is they're actually going to be on with Eric on some Tuesday Night Live stuff. Is they see the issues that are in the industry on efficiency. And really, that's what it is, Dave. I mean, owning a shop, it's all about the efficiency. You only got so many minutes in a day and in a week, and they have some stuff they're going to share with us on that. So we're really excited about it. I love the product, but they're digging deeper and seeing what techs are needing in shops is where it's really impressive. And we thank Travis for that. Travis lined us up with them. Anybody out there's got some great people or great companies that they see are helping, that blend on what we're doing. Let's all work together. We can make the change faster.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, Mark, talk a little bit about the guarantee we learned from Identifix today. If you call their tech line and they help you with it, which are guys that have worked on cars in the past too, if they call and they give you the recommendation to fix it and it doesn't fix it and there's parts involved, they'll pay for the parts.
Wow.
That's pretty heavy, guys. That's a pretty good out there deal. So we're really impressed with the people that are out there that are supporting us. Really, we couldn't have dreamed this that good.
So that means, guys, Identifix isn't going to load up the parts cannon. They're going to require you guys to give them the right information.
Yep.
But by that point, you could probably figure it out too. So, it's all
good. Absolutely. So
we have classes for that. The diagnostic strategies and diagnostic efficiency classes at mechanicalliance.com. Go there. Sign up. They're relatively inexpensive for trainings. Go there. Learn something. Promise. You're welcome. Shameless plug.
I love it. We're getting a lot of hits on the Facebook side this time. That's kind of cool, Eric.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of YouTubes. We're getting a bunch of Facebooks from the page.
That's really exploding today. I like that.
Yeah. Hey, Algorithms shine. The algorithmic gods are shining on us.
We love it. Well, they're shining on David and Lily. It's gotta be
Anyway.
Lily. It's Lily. It's Lily.
That's got to be it. So right below me, we've got David and Lily, and one of those two didn't remember Y2K, and we'll let you figure out which one that is.
Oh, that's good.
That's a shameless plug.
I've been thinking on that one for about the last, 6 minutes or so.
That's pretty good.
So let's have both of you introduce yourselves. Tell us a little about yourselves, where you're at, and all that good stuff.
Well, ladies first.
You go first.
Okay. My name is Dave Marks. I own a Quality Auto Repair and Tire in Maryland Heights. Just a brief history of how I got this business started is my claim to fame is I bought a garage with a house in the front yard. That's
every guy's dream right there.
What?
I want a garage with a house.
Yeah, I just I bought a house with a big garage, and then doing this, next thing you know, boof, a business popped up. But just seeing all the stuff I see on the Facebook page, the big reason why I'm here and the big reason why I'm successful is I learned accounting. I worked with an organization called SCORE. I'm going to give them a plug. It's a part of the SBA. It's a free mentorship program through the SBA. It's nationwide. SCORE stands for Society Corps of Retired Executives. I worked with a good mentor that was actually in the business, and he taught me accounting. When I mean accounting, it's knowing what an income statement is and what a balance sheet is and how the two work together to manage your business, because banks don't loan money to business owners that don't know their numbers and don't know the story behind their numbers. And I found that out when I tried to move out of my backyard garage. Bankers looked at my financials like they're Egyptian hieroglyphics, and I got connected with the SBA and got it all cleaned up, learned accounting, and I turned a warehouse into a shop, and the bank financed it all. But it was a helpless SCORE, and if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
And
that's perfect, Dave. We talk to business owners, and you would be amazed at how many of them don't understand what a balance sheet is, have no clue where they are.
It's fifth grade math.
What they're doing.
Not to insult anybody, but it's literally fifth grade math. It's not that hard. And I also have my dealer license here in the state of Missouri as a second entity, and the two do business. My repair and sales business do business with each other. And I was taught how to do that and how not to do that. And when you explained it all in a picture to a banker, they love it. That's how you get money. If I love debt. Debt's my best friend. That's how I make money, is off debt.
Well, and I'm glad you learned that, because early on when I had my first shop back then, I mean, it was the cash was king. But you know what? That destroys you in the end. One, for when you want to sell. And two, like you say, you want to borrow money, you can't show anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, when I was in my backyard getting this off the ground, I put everything on the books. People say, is it cheaper if I pay cash? Nope. It all pays the same. I'll pay the same. I put everything on QuickBooks, and I went to the bank, and that's what they funded all this.
Yeah.
Because I had everything on the books. I was showing income. We put together a business plan. Figured out how much everything's going to cost to build a shop. Here's my break even. Here's how much I need to do to make a profit. Here's what everything's going to cost. And they ate it up. And the banks loved it that I was working with SCORE. I can tell you from bankers, and SCORE's a nationwide organization. It's not just here in St. Louis. It's nationwide.
They're awesome.
And I'm telling you that I put my SCORE mentor's name out. And the next thing you know, Mr. Banker says, yeah, we'll talk to you. Well, 2 minutes, 30 seconds ago, they want nothing to do with me. I threw out this guy's name and SCORE. They said, okay, yeah, when can you come in? Because they know what SCORE brings to the table. Because
for those that don't know what SCORE is, those are guys that are retired that have been executives, business owners that work with SBDC, Small Business Administration, and they help people like you out there with your businesses. And that's what makes it work, is they do that as a volunteer deal, and that's awesome.
No, it's great, and it's working with Mechanic Alliance. If my number one rule to be successful is you got to ask for help and then shut up and listen.
Yeah, you do, and you got to think of the end product, So yeah, absolutely, good stuff.
All right, your turn.
I'm Lily Kennan. I guess the entire reason why I'm here, why I am, I really do appreciate all the people I grew up with. They got into cars because I grew up with a bunch of men. A lot of my family, a lot with friends. They all started getting into it. I'm have nowhere else to go. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And now I'm at STLCC, so St. Louis Community College Forest Park, in their automotive program. I graduate December 13th of this year. About to finish. Very excited. Woohoo. And yeah, I think my big jump start to get to that program was I worked on a tow truck for like 3 to 4 months. So having to watch like suspension break and having to tow that I'm like, I want to learn how to fix that. So I'm not spending an hour and a half trying to tow this car rather than, let me fix it real quick. And then, okay, cool. Now I don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, now I'm with David, which is awesome. Very good boss, very good mentor. So yeah.
What's your favorite thing, Lily? What is, if there's a passion, electrical, undercar, major, what do you like doing the most?
I do this at school for one of the classes. It's field work. So what I basically do here, I'm always doing engine and transmission rebuilds. That's mainly what I'm doing. I have 2 cars right now at school. One's a Ford F-250, and it's from 2016, I believe. And the other one is a 2006 Pontiac. I think it's a Grand Prix, I believe. I don't remember which Pontiac it is. There's too many in school to remember. But for the Ford, I'm doing an engine rebuild. And for the Pontiac, I'm doing a transmission rebuild. So, those are my 2 projects right now.
Which are you liking the most, the engine or the tranny?
The engine. As much as transmissions are cool, it's when it comes to the clutch pack. If I forget exactly where one clutch goes, I've now messed up the entire thing. And I have to go back from square one and write it all down again and be like, which one is which?
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of us. I might be speaking just for myself, but I did one tranny, and that was at the tech center, and I haven't done one since. I'm not interested.
Me too. I fall in that class too. We got a transmission guy, the buddy we work with. Sometimes we'll pull him and he'll bench build him, and other times we sub the whole thing out. But But
a good tranny guy knows what he's doing and can make those things sing.
Makes that money.
You've got input, black magic, output.
Yeah.
Torque converters, that's the real mystery right there.
And if it's not smoked, it's red magic.
Yeah.
Kevin Meyer says he's the engine fan, and on the transmission, one and never again.
There's a lot of us. It's a different animal.
I watched my Turbo 350 get tore down, and I'm looking at it like, this works?
Isn't it crazy?
This really works?
It's crazy.
Oh, you should see the new stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But that's cool. That's cool that you're learning that and you're liking that. So you are liking doing heavy line then.
Yeah.
So how are you having to do it? Are you getting like a 20-foot bar or board to get that intake off of that engine and out of the deal? Because it probably weighs more than you.
At school, we have 2 different cherry pickers. One meant for just transmissions, one meant for just engines. And for this Ford, I'm actually doing it inside the car.
Oh.
So the actual block's still in it. And the cylinder head's completely out the car. And now I just have to put the cylinder head back in. And then I'll be done with it pretty much. But when it came to that Pontiac, so what we did is we put it on a lift. And I just took all the mounting bolts and everything off and raised the car up. So that way that transmission's just there. And then I just moved it to a bench. Just like a 20-foot long bench that I can just put everything else down and put it in order and not forget where something goes.
Smart.
Yeah. I made that mistake last semester with a transmission. Yeah, no, never again. I'm going to do it in order and not leave it everywhere.
Yeah, that's cool. Man, she's smart.
I know.
You see all the YouTube videos of them tear them apart. It's like, holy cow, this is a blast. I'm glad I'm not doing it, but this is sure fun to watch all those parts come out. Yeah. Anyway, go for it, Dave. I'm sorry.
You're fine. So, David, what were your initial thoughts when it was proposed to you to bring Lilly on board? And what are your thoughts now? And would you recommend anybody doing what you've done?
I mean, absolutely. I just go back to the first time she called me on the phone. And when I got off the phone, I'm like, this lady is confident. because she just like she did. She just told us. She starts telling me, "I'm doing this at school. I'm doing this, doing this, doing this," and it was firm, direct, and to the point. So yeah, absolutely, because she's got stuff that you can't. She's got stuff you can't teach, and she's got stuff that anybody is looking for in an apprentice. They're looking for confidence. Confidence is huge. She's got the desire. She wants to learn because I've seen people. I've had apprentices in here that they wanted to learn, but they just didn't. Their heart wasn't in it, and she's got the aptitude to pick up. Myself and our master tech, we're both master techs, and we don't expect her to catch it right away, but we can tell that it sinks in, and next time she does something, she's probably, maybe instead of asking 5 questions, she may have 2, or she doesn't have anything to ask at all. And we she's got all the tools. So I highly, I don't care, male, female, whatever, you got to have those 3 things, confidence, the desire to do this, and the aptitude to pick it up. And she's the total package.
And I appreciate that, and I like that, because of the mere fact that we hear so much negativism. Oh, they're all terrible. They're all terrible. Yeah, there are. But, if you're saying that, then you're not watching Eric's Monday mindset, because a lot of that is attitude, guys. I mean, I know that techs have been beat up and they're not being paid and they didn't get a written contract. Then change it. Let us help you. And, oh, you can't find a good tech. Yeah, they're harder to find, but they're still out there. Case in point, Lilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there. You can find them. There are kids out there that younger generation of whatever that wants to do it. I working for Grease Monkey International, they were in those pits and they were changing oils, and all the time I would say, why do you do this? I love working on cars. The problem is nobody was pulling them out of the pits and putting them in shops until we came along, and hopefully others are doing that now too. They're there. Go to your lube centers and find out who they are and start stealing them.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is with myself, is we got to let her do the tech work. I do a lot of the general service work out here because she's not going to learn nothing doing that. And I don't want my master tech doing that, unless we have to. So it's like, I have no problems doing the GS work, and then let her do the tech work. And if she's got a question, she knows she could pull me or Nick aside. And then it's knowing when to tell her, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out, because that's the only way you're going to learn. You got to figure it out. Don't come ask me. But it's doing that, where it's not condescending, or this is going to help you, because as all of us know, you got to figure it out.
But you know what? There's a lot to that, because when I had my training company, David, that was one of the things is I have a diagnostic sheet. People know I live by it. And I would have my customers would call me and say, I'm having an issue on this vehicle. And I would answer them right away, and I would help them with it. And then after a while, I realized if I gave it 45 minutes to an hour and then called them back, or if I did call them back, did you fill out that chart? And if they hadn't, I'd say, call me back when you filled it out, and I never hear from them again. So that's how we teach. That's you're the type of student and the type of tech that we all are is hands-on. You can't do it for them. They've got to learn it. They want to learn it, and you got to let them learn.
Yeah, or it's telling her, okay, take this, and loose.
Yeah.
Figure it out how that. No, you got to figure out how to take that loose. But do this. So, and I'm the right. Me and Nick are the right people. We know we're the right type of people that can properly train, because I've all worked with those guys that no, they won't help. They wouldn't help their mom if she was on fire. They just don't help anybody. So, and she understands that, and it's knowing there's a time and a place to help, and there's a time and place. You got to figure it out.
Well, and it was really neat to talk to this, and we'll be putting him on Facebook here the next couple of days. He owns 3 shops in Missouri, and he's done exactly what you're doing. And he has 3 or 4 that are out there. And like me, my first tech I hired was out of the school, and he ended up managing my second shop. And my other best tech I ever had was the same kind of situation. Did I find some duds? Absolutely. But there's duds in a tech who comes with all sorts of issues in that too. The nice thing about what you're doing, Lilly, whose way do you know to fix vehicles? David's, right? Wrong or right, it's working for him. And so that makes it where you understand what he wants and what needs to be done. yeah, it's a good fit.
Now, Lily, the correct answer is, what way do you know how to fix cars? Your way.
Yeah, I mean, I've told her because I mean, you know, my rule is, you know, I don't really care how you get it done as long as it doesn't come back, because there's multiple ways to do the same job, and she has to develop and find her own way. Yeah, a lot of her skills down the road and the way she does things are going to be how I do it, how Nick does it, because we both do things the way we do because that's how we were taught when we were coming up. We saw other guys doing it, so that's how we do it. Does it make it right, wrong, good, or bad? No, it's none of those. You know, did you fix the problem, and and as long as it doesn't come back, you know, and we're teaching her, you know, what to torque and what not to torque. You know, good and tight. There's no torque spec in the service manual. We torque oil drain plugs. You know, we do that because the last thing I want to come back on is an oil change. You want to see me mad? Come back on an oil change.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And you know, but there again, it has to be both sides. It's finding the hard tech is just as hard as finding a good owner, because I've seen it where a tech starts and the owner says, okay, go balance those tires and replace those tires and balance them. And he expects that because he's done it for 30 years, that tech knows how to do it. And even though he knows how to do it, is he going to do it the way he wants it done and how his process is and all of that? And that's on the owners there. And that's what Dave's not doing. And that's what I like is you set up of what you expect, but then you give her the rope to go do what she needs to do.
Yeah, exactly. She's got to find her own path and her own way to, you know, to do things. Because me and Nick, we both attack a check engine light probably completely two different ways, but as long as we get to the same result, you know, who cares?
Yeah.
The key is understanding the limitations. You know, in the case there is, you know, David understands what Lily's limitations are, works with those limitations. But likewise, Lily needs to understand what David's limitations are as well.
Exactly.
And you work together to strengthen the both of you.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, David. Well said. I told her, don't be a he woman. You know, if you can't lift something, pick something up, come grab us. It's okay. And there's no shame of that, because I remind her all the time, there's 3 reasons why you were hired, you know, because your confidence, you have the desire, and you have the aptitude. Just because you can't pick something up, don't worry about it. You know, don't be he woman, you know, just, it's not worth it.
I don't know about that. All I see Lily doing is rattling her brains there. She's not talking.
Well,
it's a little shy.
Weren't you on there before that they have a swear jar and she fills it in an hour?
Okay, it wouldn't be an hour. Probably be like 3 hours to get it full.
So she can keep up with these guys. I love that.
No, she fits in. You know, she
That's
fits
cool.
in, and
that's cool.
And no, we love having her.
So tell the guys how you got her. How did you end up finding? Because I tell them go to the Votex. How did it work for you?
Oh, her dad drives parts for one of the parts houses that we buy parts from. You know, it's Marvin. I tell you this: if for all the shop owners out there, if you want to find people, you got to put it out there in the universe.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for something, I tell everybody and their dead brother, this is what I'm looking for. I just tell everybody. I tell customers. You know, I tell everybody this is what I'm looking for. And, you know, I mean, and then, you know, be proactive. You know, you got to be proactive. You got to take action. If shop owners can't find techs, what are they not doing? They're probably not being proactive.
Exactly.
You know, I just tell all the parts servers. I just tell everybody and their dead brother, this is what I'm looking for. And poof, she popped up.
Well, this is how it happened on my end. I was working at a different company. It's called Dobbs Tire and Auto. I'm throwing them out there. And all of a sudden, I get a text message from my dad and his boss. Hey, there's a shop called Quality Auto Repair and Tire. He's looking for a tech. Why don't you give him a call? And I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I'll stick it here for a bit. And then I'm like, you know what? Sure, I'm gonna give it a call. And gave him a call, and now I'm here. So it kind of is my dad and his boss are like, yeah, you should go here. He really needs help. That was what they said. They're like, he really needs help.
Yeah, but it's me putting it, you know, out there to these guys that I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, you know.
Yeah. But you know what, David? It's just like when I was working for the big companies, I do what's called go get, and that is even for your health. If you're slow, you should be talking. If you're going out to lunch, you should be leaving a car with that waitress, one of your cards. I went in with an owner one day to a Red Robin. Now, here's a question for y'all. How many people do you think work at one Red Robin restaurant? So I'm sitting there with the owner, and he brought a handful of cards, and we start talking. The manager comes around, and we start chatting with them. There was 144 employees. So you don't think he went and got some more cards and handed everybody out a card for his business, and you don't think that didn't help? You have to always be selling your business. You have all aspects. If you're missing a tech,
my master tech's got business cards.
Yeah.
I give them.
Absolutely. You've got to be presenting yourself everywhere.
Always selling.
Yeah, you do.
No. Yeah, we're gonna get you some too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you always got to be selling because you never know where it's gonna come from. You don't know who knows who. You don't know what, man. And me and you and Marvin, we've talked about this. Law of attraction. I'm a big believer in that. You gotta put it out there. You gotta tell the universe, this is what I want, and the universe will answer. It won't be on what I want it to, but eventually it will. It takes both things. Take action and patience.
Well, it does.
Those business cards. There's gonna be a lot of Russian people coming here.
I don't care as long as I got money.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's American money, we're good.
Yeah, I tell everybody, if you got the money, I got the time.
but that's exactly what it is. And I learned the hard way too, because back then when we started, there wasn't the internet, there wasn't all this stuff, there wasn't Identifix. We were still manuals in a room, and I learned the hard way, because even back then, the simple thing of we'd be busy, and then we'd slow down and we'd just all sit there. Well, that's the time you should go to work to get more business. I mean,
you go to business when you're busy.
Yeah,
25 hours a day, 8 days a week.
It was fluctuating like this, and then when I got my second shop, I started realizing how to even it out more and do that. You have to work your business. Everybody has to work your business. That's why I say, when a tech works for you, they're just not a tech. They're your business partner of sorts. Would you agree, David?
That's my biggest asset.
It is.
That's my biggest asset. You want to know the most valuable things I have in the shop is Lilly and Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat out. But what I've learned, and we've talked about this too, Marvin, is I'm really in business to make my employees and customers feel appreciated. The better I do that, the more money I'm going to make. It's that simple. I'm not kidding. My master tech, his hours is 7:30 to 4. He's the first one here. I get the text message at 6:55. The alarm. He's disabled the alarm. And he's in here working, and he leaves between 4 and 4:30. And I didn't ask him to do this. He just does it, But when you make your employees feel appreciated, it just pays for itself.
And they become your biggest sales
advocates.
Well, they're happy where they work. They're happy to tell everybody about where they work. If they're not happy where they work, they're not going to.
Yeah. It's like you got to add. If I want to make more money, I got to add value. If I want to make more money, and that's what we're teaching Lilly. Lilly, she knows if she ain't entitled to no raise around here. That ain't going to happen. But the more you add value, that's how you get ahead, and it goes beyond just here at the shop. It's like in life in general. If the more value I can add to life as a whole, the more I'm going to get out of it. And that can be fill in the blank. That's with my wife, my friends, employees. It doesn't matter. It's fill in the blank. The more value I add, the more I'm going to get out of fill in the blank.
I share this story all the time, and I apologize for those that have heard it, but my ex used to complain about, you pay your guys too much. And I would look at her and say, you live in this big house on the hill and drive a new car because of my guys.
Yeah. I told her, the easiest paychecks I write are the fat paychecks. The bigger the paycheck, the easier it is to write. I hate writing small paychecks. I love to write fat paychecks. The best checks I write, when my master tech's got 55 hours, I love writing those checks.
Absolutely, because everybody made money.
Yeah.
You kept the economy going. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And she gets that. So that's what I'm talking about. She's a total package. She understands that. She knows that she's not your typical entitled 20-year-old. No, if you want something, you got to work for it.
So, Lilly, where do you want to be in 5 years? What do you want to be doing?
If I want to own my own shop one day, in 5 years, I hope that would be a possibility. But, that will take a lot of time, a lot of learning. But I would like to, at least have all my ASCs done as one of my top things. I want all those out of my way.
You can buy me.
Huh? What?
You can buy me out. You can buy this.
Yep.
Okay.
Buy David out.
I was going to say that
he'll go sit on a beach and sip, insert appropriate beverage here.
I told her though. She told me that. I says, if you want to own a business, I says we got all the tools, to teach a business. It's when you're witnessing it, you want to know what it takes to run a business. It's doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
well, and
I heard her say that you have 1 foot in the grave already, Dave. So
I didn't say that necessarily.
I'm not going to say anything, but
I didn't say you. Never mind.
Now, every one of us under the age of about, say 35 and under, all thinks that everyone older's got 1 foot in the grave. Just saying.
yeah, right, Travis. Damn kids. But you know what? And even in that, because the first thing that goes through my mind, if I'm David, I'm going, I'd love to help her get into her own shop and help her partner.
yeah, hell yeah, I'd love to do it.
Absolutely. What another great investment, Absolutely.
I told her she needs to read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
By Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
absolutely. That book's about mindset. It's a mindset book.
And
Hey, where have we heard that word before today?
Yeah. I think
I'm all about mindset.
Yeah.
Here's another one that everybody.
Yeah, I've got that book. Yeah, I'm working on that. That's another thing. Yeah, but she needs to get more shop experience. We're gonna work in the shop, then bring her up front.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we can talk about that.
Well, absolutely. And those are the things that I get. That's what I loved about Dave right away when he says about the positiveness, and Eric about the mindset stuff. It's what you think is what you become. Yeah, the richest man in Babylon.
Yeah.
Travis just brought it up. I happen to have one off to my right.
Napoleon Hill said it best. Think and grow rich.
Absolutely.
From that book from the 30s, 1937.
Yeah. What you think is what you accomplish. So if you keep thinking you can't find techs, you're not going to find them.
Right.
If you think you can't make money, you're not going to make money. It's not that hard, people. It's not that hard. And I have to tell you, it's taken me years to get there, David. I don't know how long it's taken you, but there comes that point where it just flows. It just happens. You just know. My wife and I, same thing all the time. She has her negative days. I kick her in the butt. I have my negative days. She kicks me in the butt. It's like, and it's not that when I get rich, I'm rich. It's not. You can't. If you say when, you're putting a date way out there. When's that going to be?
Yeah.
Never. No, I'm rich. I've got it going on now, and I'm going to make it happen.
We're not going to say what, but I've been teaching her how to manifest, and she says it's working. I'm a big believer in that manifestation. Absolutely. You gotta feel it, think it, and believe it before it actually happens.
Yeah.
And that's what Think and Grow Rich is about. That's what all those books are about. That's and Robert Kiyosaki spins it a different way with Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it's the same concept there. It's a mindset. If you think, therefore I am. So,
and it's tough in our industry because we have been beat up, but that day has changed. There's no reason for anybody out there to think that I'm just an old grease monkey stuck in a pit and not worth any money, because see it. We see guys switching shops every day. We see shops that are busier than they've ever been. It's there. There's no reason you can't have it all right now.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Yeah, so that is cool. So what other strong things do you like about working there, Lily?
I really like the atmosphere. It's, my big thing is I'm never in trouble. It's okay to break things.
Yeah.
But I think I've only broken, was it 2 things the entirety that I've been here?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But, I like that, hey, if I'm stuck, I can either go to David or I can go to Nick. And it really helps me a lot because I'm coming to the point where, I'll figure it out myself. But once I'm getting stuck, hey, Nick, I need your help. Hey, David, I need your help, that kind of thing. But majority of the time, I'm going to figure it out because he will tell me to figure it out on my own. So,
but the best thing about that is even some of the guys that I had brought on that same way, there's time I get stuck. There's times I got stuck and I would walk away and I'd say, Mark, figure it out. And he'd have it figured out in 10 minutes because sometimes I'm sure, David, you have that same thing. And all of us, we get too close to the trees, we don't see the forest, and we need a new set of eyes. So
you're just too emotionally attached.
Exactly.
No, that's happened to me where I'm stuck and Nick comes over and Doug, like, oh, I just want to just, damn it, why didn't I, but we're all human, and none of us are perfect. And it's just, and I didn't have somebody like me when I got into this years ago. No, I worked in those dealerships where it's cutthroat, it's fend for yourself, and I didn't have anybody like me when I was her age. I really didn't, and it's cool to be something for her, which I didn't have for myself. And Nick feels the same way. We, 25 years ago, I've been in this for 23 years, especially at the dealerships where it's union flat rate. No, it's cutthroat. It's every person for themselves.
And there's a lot to that. It's interesting how some of that goes back around, and it's nice, like you're saying, that you're able to do that, because I was the same way. We got our noses bloodied back then. We had to learn ourselves. There was nobody to help. I didn't have a mentor of sorts. I worked for a shop for a couple of years. He was good to me. I left and went on my own and did my own thing. And so, it's nice to do that. We appreciate having Travis on board to help with the mentorship program. And for those out there listening, you don't have to be a new tech to be in our mentorship program. I'm searching on Facebook the other day some stuff, and I find this young man, and his name's Billy, and he's needing some help. And I thought, here's a kid that needs some help, a guy that needs some help. And so we're mentoring him. He's been in the industry 14 years. There's all levels, when talking to Travis, of mentorships. We
all need mentors. I have multiple mentors.
Yeah.
I got more than I could probably think of off the top of my head, and it's like but to find the good mentors, you got to make yourself vulnerable to get screwed or get hurt to find the right ones. And I've outgrown mentors. It's been leveling up too with different, the mentors I have today. I didn't have 3-4 years ago, but I wasn't ready to handle them, or, I didn't have that mindset that, I can have this guy. I can work with this guy. I work with a couple one mentor. He's a multi-millionaire. You never know it. One of the most humble guys I ever met. And he's got what I want. So, I mean, to find a good mentor, you got to find somebody that's got what you want, and then you do what they do. You ask questions and listen. And the hardest part is shut the F up.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
That is
a good listener too, by the way.
But that's like sales too. Some people can sell, and then they never know when to shut up and stop and ask for the sell and wait, because the next one that talks loses.
Yeah.
It's how it works. So
no, this little girl can sell. She don't know it yet, but she can sell. I can see
cool. That's cool. It's, and that's the other thing that I like about that. I love women in the industry, because I always had a lady that did my books in the back office, but she also ran the front counter. Women, even back then, 20, 30 years ago, women like talking to women. And it's a great thing. You've got to have that blend. So no, that makes a nice piece for it. So How about room? How's your room going? Because you brought her on. You still okay with room there, or what's your plans moving forward?
No, I got my eye on a piece of property. It's just, I'm at that point now where I've got the business where I can support, 3 full-time employees, and I can start stacking cash, and it's planning for the next expansion. We talked about this, Marvin. I got my eye on a piece of property. I need to make a phone call, find out how much it is. My vision is to, pay cash for the property myself and use that as collateral to get the bank to fund a construction loan. And it's talking to bankers. It's planning today for 3-4 years down the road. Now the plan for this one is if she earns it, keyword earns it, is, to keep her as a tech till we move. But then if she really wants to own a business, she'll get lots of tech experience, then move her up front, make her an advisor, because that'll help her sell, because people will see that she's been a tech. She knows what the hell she's talking about. Then teach her that. Then after we move and get settled in, then she can start her MBA program, we can teach her business. Because if she's going to take this over, I'd love to do that. I mean, it gets me really excited, because I don't have any kids. So
he has an MBA, so we've got her covered there.
My MBA is the School of Hard Knocks. It's called Losing Money.
Yeah.
You don't forget when you lose it.
Well,
Travis says look into an ICF build. I have no idea what that means, but look into an ICF build.
Well, I like the municipality that I'm in. It's for any of those, the St. Louis metropolitan area. It's really screwed up with St. Louis County, and 92 municipalities within St. Louis County. And where I'm at, it's the municipality I'm in, it's one of the few that will allow auto repair and used auto sales out of the same spot. Because I tell you what, guys, I make a lot of money buying and selling used cars with my customers. That's where the money's at. And it's understanding the tax code. And for the state of Missouri, because licensed dealers in the state of Missouri, we don't pay sales tax or property tax. So that pays for a lot before I pay income tax. And when you paint it all to a banker, they love it.
There you go. Go ahead.
I'm shocked every independent repair shop isn't trying to sell cars because the money's buying it to my customer.
You know,
I could tell you story after story of stuff I've bought pennies on the dollar and made a hit. You know, I just bought one Sunday. I took it straight to the auction today. I made $1,500.
Was it the Ram?
And no, it was a Dodge Caravan. I went and picked up the car, took it from this lady's house straight to the auction. I made $1,500 today. Didn't do nothing. That's all I did. But the reason of that, though, is, you know, businesses fall into two different types of categories. There's a transaction-based or relationship-based. We're all relationship-based. So this relationship thing that I built, it didn't happen overnight, but all over these years of doing this, people just call me, hey, Dave, I want to sell my car. Hey, Dave, I want to sell my car. And this year, because of those relationships through my repair business, I buy them off customers. I take them straight to the auction, and I make more money than I would on the street. You know, and the customers appreciate it. They're happy. Like, yeah, Dave, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds great. You know, so it's.
And you know, I learned the hard way back then, because every shop should be busy through Christmas now. And if you're not, then we need to help you and talk to you. But
we are.
What I used to do was, during the year, you'd get that little old lady that came in and it blew a head gasket and she didn't want to fix it. And we said, well, you bring us a title, we'll do it for the diagnostics. And it sat in the lot. I had a 30-acre lot out front. And it sat there. And the minute we started slowing down, we started fixing those cars up and selling them during the slow times.
Yeah.
And then I was like you. I didn't have an actual lot, but I was getting into, back then, it was the little old Chevy Sprints, that little old 3-cylinder. Man, I'd find those and fix those up and sell them, and I was making money. And then I got my butt burned. It was on I'll never forget it. It was on a F350 pickup truck, but it didn't have the big block in it. It had the small block. And I fixed it, painted, and I lost about $4,000. That's when I kind of soured grapes over it.
The biggest thing with buying cars is it's no different than the real estate business. When I buy a car, I got to know my exit strategy. So I actually have a floor plan through Manheim. So I've even done this where I've bought a car, financed it, and I didn't use a penny of my money, and then I sell it to another dealer and made $1,500. So when I make my money when I buy it, not when I sell it. When I buy it, I have to know my exit. Like this Caravan, I knew I'm going to take it straight to Manheim. It's going to go boom. I know my exit strategy before I buy it. What am I going to do with this? Am I going to finance it? Am I going to pay cash for it? I've financed used cars and made money and made good money. It takes experience, but it's no different than the housing market. I got a ton of friends in real estate. I'm like, I do the exact same thing. You have to know your exit strategy before you buy it. I make my money when I buy it, not when I sell it.
That's true.
You know, that's a perfect model, David. 3 years ago, I set up a repair facility up in Panguitch, Utah. Now, you guys, nobody knows where Panguitch, Utah is. Except for maybe a couple.
One person does. There's one person that does.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere, Utah.
But anyway, it's in the middle of nowhere. This guy had a repair shop. It was a 4-bay repair shop. I set him up with a dealership where he would buy and sell cars right in the lot next door to him there. He made more money buying those cars, fixing them and selling them than he did doing the repair work for the community, because the community's not that big, right? But there was always the demand for vehicles.
You got to have two sources of revenue, you know, and I'm talking to my attorney about, I want to become a buy here, pay here, because I finance some of my repair customers on a handshake. I got a guy, I've sold him the third car, because when you sell them these used cars, guess where they're going to come back for work? They're going to come back here. And I'm going to make, you know, I mean, it's just
a win-win.
It's a no-brainer. And so how I do it is my used cars, So Quality Auto Sales will pay my repair business my fleet rate for work. So, and then the sales has to make money on top of it. So yeah, you know, when it comes in, when I bring a used car and it's paying the same out the door price, it's paying a markup on parts, it's paying the labor, and then it makes money on top of that. That's how I was taught to do it. That way, when I present, going back to earlier, when I present my financials to a banker and they see my income statement and balance sheet for both entities, you know, it's clean, it's nice. That's what the bankers expect. I put my financials together, you know, for the bank. And that's how I was taught to do it by my score mentor. My score mentor, he owned 3 bus dealerships in a 5-state region. He had Central States bus sales. You know, how many hundreds of $millions is 3 bus dealerships? I don't know, but you know, he taught me all this stuff.
Yeah, that's the exact model we used in Panguitch.
That is awesome.
It works.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the money is buying and selling amongst customers. Because I've bought stuff cheap off customers, and then I may sell it to somebody on marketplace. And then too, I upsell the maintenance. I'll buy a car right here. I'll put the car together to meet the state statute. But you know, if you want the maintenance, it's this, and I'll discount it, and I'll upsell the maintenance.
Yeah,
there you go.
You know, oh yeah, it just, that's hard to do with people I don't know. I've had a couple that have paid up for it, but you know, being in the people love buying and selling with guys in the repair business. I tell people, look at the Google ratings, look at the Facebooks. We have that for a reason, you know, and a lot of stuff I throw Kelly Blue Book out the window because I'm in the repair business. Here's what we did to the car. You know, I'll guarantee it in writing for 30 days. Good luck finding something else.
There you go.
You know,
that's cool. That's cool. I'm really proud of what you're doing out there. You really are slamming it. Anybody got any questions? I love what's happening out there in Missouri. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it starts with me. You know, this place, Lilly, she's learned we're in a relationship now. You know, I taught her, you're in a relationship with me and Nick. Me and Nick and the 3 of us, we're going to spend more time together than with our families. So, you know,
they're my 2 adopted dads.
I love it. So Lilly, maybe you can help us here. How do we get to younger students like yourself that want to get into this industry?
Me personally, a lot of people I'm in school with now, you know, we like when we're not being yelled at or being, you know, talked down like, oh, you're younger, you don't know anything, you know.
Yeah.
See, because I've had that experience where they did talk to me that way, and it made me not want to go in. It made me kind of want to give up automotive as a whole. Because I'm like, well, why am I going to be coming in here every day if I'm going to be yelled at for doing something that I maybe never did before or I don't have a lot of experience on? So to reach like people my age, especially the kids I go to school with, we like being, you know, appreciated in a sense. And, you know, when we ask for help, not being yelled at or being, you know, told that we're not smart, we're not good enough, you know, that we should know how to do this.
I'm glad I asked that because I've seen that. There is, and I think that's something that our generation, older, 35, Eric, and older, can learn from these younger techs out there, really, because I think a lot of it is about communication. One, a lot of owners just assume you know it. And, you know, we grew up where I'm a guy that got beat with a belt growing up. You couldn't do that to a kid today, right? I had a German mom, but I deserved it. So let's just get real. But
I deserved it too. I was a shithead once upon a time.
Yeah, I was too. And so it's what straightened me out. And I love her to death for that. But it is a different communication time, isn't it, Lilly? It is. And Dave, you're seeing that too. It is. You cannot talk down to them. They want to be respected. And that may be some of the reasons that we're having, because usually in a marriage, in a business, in anything that we do, if there's a problem, it's usually 100% of the time communication, right?
Absolutely.
For sure. For
of
sure.
Of course.
Yeah. So I like hearing that because I think that's something that we should look at helping others understand.
Well, the challenge I see, it's getting independence into schools. Schools gravitate towards, you know, the big box stores and the dealers. If we could get these schools to, you know, I don't know, you know, I get the independent dealers. Okay, that may be a little bit more mom and pop feel. You know, maybe if you get where the dealer group where they got 15 dealers, it's more corporate. but get these schools working with the sole proprietor independents and staying away from the box stores. But they go to the box stores, and then people like her, unfortunately, will have a bad experience, and then they leave. But maybe if they got introduced to the sole proprietor or a guy that's got 1 or 2 stores instead of the box stores, they would not experience what she just mentioned.
I think that's something we should look into, Eric. I think that might be a good Tuesday Night Live deal, because really the communication, we have guys that are saying, oh, we can't find a good tech, and techs are going, I can't find a good owner. Well,
I was told by a friend of mine that, all the kids at school, at these tech schools, are all gobbled up by dealerships in the big box stores. And then, she fell in my lap, but it's how do we get independent owners in schools working together, maybe educating the schools, because I went through Rankin Tech here in St. Louis, and I worked for Dobbs too. I got my start. I did the exact same thing, she did, except it was 20s in the late 90s. And I've had my best experiences, at smaller, independents than the big box stores.
Observation, part of the reason that could be why the dealerships are the ones out there recruiting the people from the tech schools is, one, they have the resources,
the manufacturers
to have
supporting that too.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the people power, the money power, so we go burn a few hours talking to a tech school. We can recruit these people to chew them up, to spit them out.
Yeah, because when I went through Rankin Tech, they had the GM program down there in the late 90s. That's when GM was king worldwide, though. But I don't have an answer on a solution. I mean, the thought just kind of popped in my head, but it's how do we get the independent shop owners, working with the schools instead of the big box stores. And I think the dealers will always be there because they have the manufacturer support on top of that. But how do we eliminate the big box stores and work with the independents instead of the chains?
Well, I think some of that is like, one of the posts we had today, I think it was starting out $20 an hour, gets benefits and all of that. We got to pay them. We got to be thinking that they're the future technician as an owner. I've got to take care of them if I want them to be there.
Yeah, this one's gotten a raise since he started, by the way.
See? That's awesome.
But she adds value. And, and I explained that. And that's a two-way street as I agree, Marvin, about the pay, 110%.
Yeah,
110%. But the tech's got to know that if I add value, it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
But I think that two-way street, though, starts with the ownership. It starts with ownership on day one. If
it does,
always know that, hey, this guy's going to take care of me if I add value. Boom, 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 boom. It starts with ownership, but it's a two-way street.
Well, and I look at a good owner like you, because let's be honest, the shitty owners aren't going to get any good techs anyway, so I don't even care about them. If they're not going to make the chains, they're not going to happen. But all it takes is one good owner to see that and go to a VOTEC and be there. Maybe you won't get them this year, but if you go and you be on their advisory committee and you work with them and you talk with them. Aaron told a story the other day about how the Porsche dealer there invited called up the VOTEC and has been working with them for years and said, I'm going to have a Saturday morning from 8 to 12. We'll feed them lunch. Send me down your 5 best people and I'll hire one. And they went down and they found them. You have to go do it. You can't just sit there and complain that I can't find a tech and then don't go look for them. It's your own fault.
Yeah.
It really is. Fantastic stuff. Oh, man, you're awesome. Awesome.
Yep. My final closing thought, since mindset's been a big deal in this, remember, it doesn't cost anything to be a decent human being. That's my famous words to live by. You don't have to be a jerk. You choose to be a jerk. There we go. Mindset stuff. And you guys thought you were going to get off easy and not get more mindset stuff on Tuesday.
But it's where it's
every
at.
Day.
It's where it's at. It is. People have got to get out of their crummy attitude. I hate the deal about a guy that complains about where he is, but then he doesn't go and move to another shop because they're out there. I don't care where.
I had a tech like that. I offered him a ton more. He complained about this place he was at. I offered him good money, and I don't know what happened to him. I couldn't believe it. The tool truck sent him down here because Davey bitches about the place he's at every day. He sent him down here.
Yeah,
he was working for me for a little bit, and then ended up going back, it's the exact same thing. It's
like Stockholm syndrome or something, huh?
I don't know. I can't.
I don't know.
Understand
Get off
it.
of your butt and go to work and get it. You're your own problem, right? That's what Eric talks
Well,
about.
you got to, even though, so Lilly, you got to look at, you're the CEO of your life. What's in it for you, and if you got to go out there and get it just like that. So you're the CEO of your life.
Yeah.
Well, cool. There's some great shops and some great techs out there. I don't care what anybody says. I can come into any town and I'll take $1,000 challenge on anybody that says they can't find a new tech in their town, and I'll come out and prove them wrong. Because I know I'll find them, and I know, David, you would too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'll find them. Not a problem. I'll go to every freaking lube store and I'll find one. Who takes me up on the challenge? Put it out there. I'll lay $1,000 down.
Who doesn't have money to try and send them on that challenge?
I'm going to use their money to pay.
You know what? I tell you, I need a good service advisor, Marvin. Can you do that with service advisors? I'll pay $1,000 for a good advisor.
They're out there. They are.
No, I know. I'll find them.
You will. It's time sometimes.
Well, you got to be, in my position, I think the small guys like me, you got to be patient. You got to take your time. I got to be, that's probably, I hate to, I don't know. It's to me, it's the most important position in there is a service advisor. A good service advisor. I get it. It goes both ways. But if I had to pick one, I would say the advisor over tech. Because nothing happens unless the advisor makes the appointment. I was taught the number one job of a service advisor is to answer the phone and make the appointment. So without that, then the techs have no work.
Yeah.
It's valid.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for any of you guys out there in internet
not
land,
that techs aren't about, because hey, look what I'm wearing. So
that's true.
No. I'm not trying to rain on any techs parade, but
But for posterity's sake, if any of you guys want information on service advisors, reach out to us. Go find any of the Tuesday Night Lives that have Dave Bonica on it, because he's our resident service advisor in the group. And dude sharp, go get his take. Give us some watch time, please. We'll take that hour. Yes, I'm talking algorithmic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
above my pay grade.
That's cool. That's kind of where I live. So it's a young person thing to be able to play with algorithms, right, Lily?
Yeah.
Just nod your head.
Yeah.
There we go.
I can't lie. I'm pretty good at that too. I can't lie about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah. So anyways, it looks like the chat bleachers are cooling down just a hair. Service advisors are usually easier to find than techs, huh? Somebody's English needs help. Oh, Zach needs help with his own English. I see how it is. Anyway, we'll end it off here. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next time.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.